Hi, everybody. Let's take a few minutes and let's go over the Analyzing Robin Hood assignment. This is probably one of your biggest assignments of the semester. It is worth 50 points. So you definitely want to make sure that you're taking the time to complete this assignment well. This assignment is intended to take you a few days, so do not rush through it and try to get it done in one sitting. It is supposed to take a little bit of time. All right, so let's go over the details of the assignment. First of all, we read 3 stories over the past few weeks. And so for this assignment, you're going to need to think deeply about these stories. You're going to have to go back into the text and as you work through this assignment. And these texts are in the Robin Hood unit content. Okay? So for part 1, you're going to consider the setting and a perfect world. And we talked about this in our live sessions. One aspect of Robin Hood tales is that they idealize the perfect setting for Robin and his followers. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to find quotes from the texts that describe the forest details in each story. Your quotes may or may not be in complete sentences. We're looking for brief examples, not long passages. Please do not copy and paste full paragraphs here, okay? But you're going to put your findings into this chart and you're going to cite your quotes with the author's last name and in parentheses, like you see right here. So the author's last name is Pyle, and you're going to put the page number, not the paragraph number, the page number, okay? Then you're going to answer in the questions below. So you're going to put your quotes here. So you're going to look at how Robin Hood became an outlaw. You're going to look at how Robin Hood turns butcher, and then Robin Hood and the Guy of Gisborne, okay? Then you're going to write a paragraph. And what do you notice about the examples you found? What ideas about the setting keep appearing in the stories? And how is the forest consistently described and depicted? So you're going to answer in a few complete sentences here. Then here, this is the big papa, all right? This is where you're summarizing the whole purpose of this passage. So why do you think it is such an important part of the stories and that it is repeated often? What is it emphasizing about the people of England and how they view their country? So you're going to answer here. I want a paragraph. I want you to really think about why is this important to them, okay? What are they idolizing about their country, about their land? Then, after you analyze the setting, you're going to analyze for characterization. So is he a force for good or a social menace? So for each of the stories we read, you need to give an example of something about Robin Hood that can be considered heroic, and then something that can be considered bad or villainous. These can be things he says or does, and we are told by the narrator. You do not have to use direct quotes here, but they need to be specific story details, and you need to answer in complete sentences. And then you're going to answer the questions below in your examples. So you need to find something for all 3 stories. Then, why do you think this legendary character is important enough to have survived throughout the centuries? What are the above characteristics telling you about the people of England and the things that they value? Okay, very similar to what we analyzed in Arthur. Why was Arthur important? Now we're thinking about Robin Hood. What is he demonstrating for this country? How is he a role model? What are they looking up to in him, and how is those characteristics idolized by the people of England? And finally, Robin Hood's presented through many stories as an idealized man. He can outwit, outshoot, outrun any man in all of England. However, as you should be able to tell from your responses above, Robin Hood is not a perfect man. Describe how it is possible for an imperfect individual to be considered heroic. This goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the year, like maybe not all heroes are perfect, okay? Answer in complete paragraph with specific examples and details from life or the world to support your claims, okay? I'm looking for details here. Part 3, we're looking at motifs. Remember, we've gone over motifs a few times. So motifs are those recurring elements that help develop a thematic observation. So, for example, Robin Hood wearing Lincoln green, blowing the bugle to call for help, putting on disguises, joining Robin's group after being helped by them, taking the king's deer, which is a crime, setting things right, bringing justice to an unjust situation. So in the final section of this assignment, you're going to focus on the last item on that list. So first, you're going to rewatch the video from last week, from week 1 of Robin Hood unit, and refresh your memory about this key idea. Watch the video and answer the questions below. Complete sentences, not necessary here, okay? So answer these 3 questions. So in what time period did Robin Hood live? In the time of which king? According to this video, which 3 groups are villainized as the enemy throughout this time? And then what do these enemies have in common? What did they all do to the people of England? Then you're going to spend some time watching some movie versions of Robin Hood. For each movie, watch the given video clips on the left. Then in the box on the right, write an extended response for each movie as it answers this question. How does this movie reinforce the idea that civil disobedience is an acceptable course of action in an unjust society? Refer to specific details from the movie clips to support your analysis. So, you're going to watch the clips from the 1973 version first. So you'll watch these 2 YouTube clips first, and then write an extended response citing specific details that support that analysis. Then you'll do the same thing for the 2010 version, and then the same thing again for the 2018 version. And they're all going to answer this question: how does this movie reinforce the idea that civil disobedience is an acceptable course of action in an unjust society? All right, so again, this is supposed to take a few days to complete. I would say do 1 part a day and then submit on Friday. If you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, I'm looking forward to your response. Thank you so much.